Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. Busy week for Kaitlyn Bristowe, host of the Off the Vine podcast. She's in the news yet again for burying relationship. Kaitlyn Bristowe held a funeral service and fake burial for her and Jason Tartick's breakup. All right, I know the haters are going to go, I thought she said she wasn't going to talk about it anymore. But here it is. This is one of the biggest stars of the Bachelor franchise, and she gives us some new information about how she coped with her relationship. So we're going to get into what she had to say in just a second. I just interviewed the director of the new hit documentary. It's called After Baywatch, Moment in the Sun, and it's fascinating. That's going to be on today's Rush Hour podcast for your ride home. It's a nice bite-sized 25-minute interview. We talked about the struggles to make this documentary, getting all the different actors involved, from David Hasselhoff, why Pamela Anderson wouldn't be a part of the documentary, to a lot is in it. A lot is in it. You're going to really enjoy that conversation. Just go to the Rush Hour podcast with Dave Neal wherever you listen to podcasts, and you'll get that about 2 p.m. East Coast time whenever it uploads. Okie dokie, let's get into it here. So here's the article. Kaitlyn held a funeral service and fake burial for her and Jason Tartick's breakup. Rather than read all the clips, they always say show, don't say. And by the way, she's getting a hell of a lot of PR, right? She can just click that button and it goes straight to, that's a dead link, but you get the point. So here it is. I'm going to play the clip. She had Amanda Hirsch on her podcast from Not Skinny, but Not Fat, Overflowing with Celebrity Tea. Here's what Kaitlyn had to say about why she held a virtual funeral for her relationship with Jason Tartick.
Totally.
And that, like, they probably were really brave to do it.
Yeah. One of my favorite things when I ended my last relationship was multiple people saying congratulations, or that they were proud of me, or that must have been hard. And I was like, I did not see that one coming.
Yeah.
People said like one of my friends wanted to throw a party, like congratulations party.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
And it has to be like, you've got to be pretty damn sure, have a party.
Yeah.
I had a funeral.
Did you really?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
You know me. Of course I did.
You did a woo-woo thing? What did you do?
I did a little funeral service, like a fake burial. And I'll tell you why.
I love how you say this like it's not weird.
It's so weird.
Wait, with friends? What'd you bury?
I did it alone.
You did it alone.
Yeah.
After you cold plunge, sauna. Fainted.
And it's actually not as rare as you might think. I'll share this article with you in a second. Why you should have a funeral for your breakup. I think it really comes down to this. Some people internalize their feelings, and some people need symbolism to help them work through their feelings. So the idea of like physically burning a photo that you have of your ex, or the idea of having that moment where you just let it go and deburden yourself and move forward, that can be a way to like detach from whatever energies you were still harboring, whatever feelings of bitterness or anger or sadness. Because even though Kaitlyn ended the relationship, there's still a lot, you don't just end a relationship. You'd be a psychopath if you're just like, all right, no, it's like those feelings can linger for a long time.
Like,
I had a meltdown.
wait, you did the burial by yourself?
Yeah.
What'd you bury?
Nothing. It was a fake burial. I didn't bury anything. It was all mental. It was like okay, I always sound so crazy. But it was something that I learned.
We know. We love you for it.
At Hoffman. And so it's more of a visual practice. Mm-hmm. And it is to say your goodbyes and make a little peace with it.
That's cute. Did it help?
Yeah, it does. It shifts something in the old brain that really goes to, was I like, all right.
Yeah.
No, but it really does do something in your brain to like, do I need to be wearing a bra? You can see my nipple.
Then they go on to nipple piercings. Hey, what can you do? But yeah, interesting stuff. So if you're going through a breakup, here's what they say. Grief is part and parcel of breaking up. Whether you're grieving the loss of a particular person in your life or the comfort of the relationship itself, giving yourself permission to grieve can kickstart your heart's healing process. At times, going through a breakup can feel just as raw and excruciating as dealing with a death. It can be viscerally painful, but unlike death, the hurt we endure after a breakup isn't given the gravity it deserves. When there are parties that come along with engagements and marriages, there are no real sanctioned rituals for the end of a relationship. Whether that be a breakup or a divorce, this is where the idea of breakup funerals come in. I have actually a bit about this where I talk about how, engaged people are too cocky when they post their engagement photos. Some girl in a sundress prancing through the meadows, no groom in sight, whatever. And it's always like, all right, you're so cocky, you haven't even done the marriage yet. Half a marriage is ending in divorce. You want to send me a save the date? You should have to send me a save the divorce, right? You should, because when people do get divorced, right? Don't you always have to go through their Instagram to be like, oh, what happened to Jill? And then you have to click and go all the, oh boy, this is the moment she's unfollowed him. It becomes that whole mess. So yeah, a little bit of a funeral. Not always a bad thing. Have you heard about breakup funerals or parties? Katie Price threw a party when she divorced Peter Andre. Hazel Hawk threw a party when she divorced Bob Hawke. Jack White and Karen Elson threw a joint party and invited all their friends. There was a Bachelor contestant recently that, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Maybe the Patreon can help me out. It was last year. She was set to go to a destination wedding in Europe, and some things went sideways with her partner. She was marrying some professor or something. And everyone still had their tickets to go to the wedding, right? Everyone had bought their tickets and hotels and probably cake and things like that. So that, rather than lose her deposit, she decided to just throw a celebration, which again, I don't know if that's the healthy way to do it. I always feel like with something so intimate as a relationship ending, even though it might be nice to do the work with friends and throw a celebration, whatever. I think it's also good to do the work by yourself to make sure you've mourned properly. Because if you don't express those feelings and really, cry it out and get your, punch a pillow and do all the things that you're supposed to do to feel those emotions, if you don't go that far, then where is that energy going? It's never displaced. It doesn't just disappear on its own, right? So it might be internalized in a different way, and then you lash it out and you bring that negative energy to your next relationship. So what you can do is de-burden yourself. And it seems as though that's what Kaitlyn was talking about with de-burdening. Let's see if there's anything else she has to say about this.
My sister, she got offended by me today because I don't know why. Maybe because I'm postpartum, but an ad popped up for me that was boob reducer bras.
Yeah.
So I sent them to my sister because she always says that she wants small boobs. So I was like, well, here's a boob reducer bra.
Boob reducers.
Mm-hmm. And it is to say your goodbyes and make a little piece with
Sorry, I don't know. There was just a glitch here. Did you guys see that? Or was that in my brain? Is this a Friday glitch? Apologies.
it.
That's cute. Did it help?
Yeah, it does. It shifts something in the old brain.
All right. Anyway, I think they. I don't know if that was on my end. Let's just fast forward 30 seconds
I
here.
just feel a little exposed right now.
No, I swear I was maybe looking at your bows. I swear.
Oh yeah. That is okay. Good point. I went to that Prenuvo scan yesterday. And I was so scared that if I left my nip ring in, that I would
oh shit! So you took
just
it out?
Be pulled towards the machine like a big magnet.
Were you nervous to be?
So grab your Adderall, folks. They just went from discussing a funeral of the relationship to nipple rings.
Claustrophobic.
Yeah.
A little bit, but I saw it and I'm like, oh, I'm fine. But then once I started going in, I was like, oh.
Well, once they start putting the headgear.
Yeah, I started getting a little, I didn't realize all of that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then they put a weighted thing on your chest.
The weighted thing and the headgear.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, but it really helped because they put Netflix on the TV.
Oh, that is a game changer.
Netflix the whole time. I watched Grey's Anatomy.
You asked for, wait. You asked for Grey's Anatomy in the MRI?
Yeah.
You wanted to see people
It was comforting
dying.
to me because...
Okay. That's literally
Have you guys had this where they give you a TV show to watch? When I had a bad neck injury after a car accident, I had to get an MRI, but I had to sit upright for the MRI. They said you cannot move. This is back in 2016. This is a long time ago. It was the presidential elections were happening. And was that Trump or Clinton? I'm trying to remember. Either way, they left the TV on for me. I had to sit there for an hour. They left Fox News on. And you're not allowed to fall asleep because if you fall asleep and move, it ruins the scan. So you have to be perfectly still for this really detailed MRI. So you know how the ones where you go in the tube? Mine was just you sit there. And for these you can't have any metal on you because it's all, it's magnets and whatever. And I'm literally, it's I had to watch an hour of Fox News. I felt like my mom was torturing me to be a Republican for a second. Anyhow, folks, and if you are, that's okay. You vote the way you want to vote. You subscribe the way you want to subscribe. Well, it's a free fall Friday. And that's all I'm going to say. I don't think they covered anything else here from the funeral. But boy, Kaitlyn, take the week off. She got such I mean, and by the way, I don't think she did this on purpose. Ben Higgins said, "Oh, Kaitlyn knows what she's doing. She probably discussed, of course, the Tayshia Adams thing. She probably did that for clout. Basically, that's what they were saying." And I was like, I don't think so. I mean, if she was doing it for clout, she would have done it on her own podcast. That's what you want. The thing that works, and Nick Viall knows this. The thing that works with podcasting is saying something that will get clicks in old school media, so that more people watch it. I got to be honest with you, those clicks don't mean anything. This past year, we were featured in Time Magazine, Washington Post, Us Weekly multiple times. And let me tell you something, I don't think any of those, I think all of those kind of press features combined, we probably got an extra 20 subscribers. I'm not kidding. Legacy media is so dead that, you see like Entertainment Tonight, they don't have a story unless they go to a podcast. Just as an aside, because here we are, watching the interview with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz last night on CNN, it's absolutely ridiculous that the first interview that they did was essentially like 20 minutes long. They clipped it up into 5 different segments. Like, what are we doing? That interview, like this is where capitalism fails us. And again, I know we've moved on from Kaitlyn, so just hold on a second here, but this is where capitalism fails us, right? All we want as an American, public is give us an hour conversation. Give it to us unedited, leave in the ums, leave in the likes, leave in the sneezing. Show us what we're voting for or against. I would want the same thing from Trump as I would want from Kamala, because I hold myself to a high regard. I think I'm a smart guy. I want to be able to sniff out bullshit. And if CNN's going to do an interview where they just milk the teat of the, 3 minutes of this, we'll be back with more after this. No. Air it all on YouTube. Let everybody see what we're voting for. Just a thought. Anyhow, Kaitlyn buries her relationship. I'm burying my opinions here in the comment section, which I won't be reading. Not this week, at least. Sometimes you got to know when to stay away. But yeah, it's been an interesting week covering the Kaitlyn story. We probably lost several subscribers just by sharing my opinion. But, what do they say? If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen, right? We're here to share the opinion, and you have to be authentic to that opinion, even if it doesn't align with everybody else. I'll be trying to remember that as we move forward. All right, folks, we got more content coming your way. Check out the Rush Hour podcast. Link in the comment section if you want to listen to that. It'll be an awesome episode this afternoon. We'll see you then. Bye, everyone.